Hello everyone and welcome back to the Ryan Retro channel. In today's video, we're going to look at the long-awaited update for the Retroid Pocket 5 that should finally fix the audio issue that's been plaguing this device since it first came out. When you turn on your Retroid Pocket 5, you should see a pop-up for the latest update. If you don't see it, you can simply scroll down from the top of the screen, come to the settings cog here, scroll down once again, go to System, scroll down again and choose Retroid Pocket FOTA. Here will be the new version of the update, version 1.0.0.152. If you're having any issues finding this update or if it's not installing properly, check out these instructions on the screen here, which are very helpful by the 412 banner, and I'll also put them in the description as well. And thank you so much, Banner, for these excellent instructions, and I hope these do help out everybody. Once you do get to this screen, hit the big download button in the middle and just wait for it to download. It actually only took about 1 second for me there, so now we can click Update, and here we should be into the updating process. Leave it here, it might take a little bit of time, and if you're still having problems with this, drop a comment on the video where I can help you, or consider joining the official Retroid Discord or my own personal Discord, which is linked in the description, where we'll all try and help you out. When it's finished installing, we'll get this pop-up message saying, "Does the immediate restart take effect?" To which we need to say OK, and then it's going to restart the device and upgrade the firmware. You'll see the Retroid Pocket logo flash up on the screen, and we just need to wait a little bit, and once it turns back on, we should have our upgraded firmware. It took about 20 seconds to restart, and now that it's back on, it says upgrade success, and it tells us what it has improved. Now there's two major improvements with this update. The first one is that audio framework enhancement. The one that we had to set up ourselves in the past has now been implemented into the firmware itself. So new users, or people who don't want to tinker with the audio like that, shouldn't have to do anything by themselves. It's now implemented on the device itself. So Retroid say they have applied a Qualcomm Smart Amplifier patch to optimize speaker performance. They've fixed an audio channel imbalance where the left and the right speaker volume were not the same, so they now should be matched perfectly. In my previous videos showing you how to do this by yourself, we installed an app called the JDSP app. Retroid did implement some of those features in a previous update, but that update didn't roll out for everybody. You had to ask for it in their Discord server, and some people complained about the bass in that update. So if you were one of those people, they've now removed that EQ parameter to eliminate any glitch with the bass. If you were someone who never even tried that update, this isn't going to mean much to you, but if you were somebody who tried it and you didn't like the bass frequencies, it has now been fixed. They've also fixed low volume in-game emulators because the Retroid Pocket 5 could be quite quiet in certain applications. That should now also be fixed. So they've balanced the volume between the two speakers, they've made sure it's not too quiet, they've made sure the bass doesn't glitch, and it should overall just sound better than before. As well as those audio improvements, they've also synchronized Qualcomm charging parameters to prevent voltage spikes during charging. This is actually a very good update if it works as intended, because we've seen quite a few reports of these devices turning into spicy pillows with bloated batteries, which is obviously something you never want to see from an electronic device, especially one that's less than 1 year old. Clearly there was some problem with the voltages there, as batteries should never be swelling like this after less than a year of use. I did ask in the official Retroid Discord if anybody's noticed any changes since this update, and somebody did tell me it seems to be charging a little bit slower. Obviously, we want all of our devices to charge as quickly as possible, but if it's charging dangerously quick, like think back to the Samsung Note fiasco a few years ago, where you could overclock the charger and it set the battery on fire, obviously we don't want that to happen. So I think dialing down the speed a little bit in exchange for greater longevity and safety is definitely the right call here. So hopefully this improvement here will result in less spicy pillows, less battery bloating, and more longevity from this beautiful handheld. And finally, they've addressed some system reboots, triggered by inserting specific SD cards. This is one that I've actually never heard of, but I guess it was affecting a few people, and if you were one of those people, it should be fixed now, so awesome. So we're now going to open Tennis in the Face, again with an amazing soundtrack, but just before I open it, let's remind ourselves how it sounded before in my previous video, before and after using the James DSP plugin. And now let's hear how it sounds after the update. Oh, that is very loud. Immediately I can say that's much louder than it was before. That sounds very loud and full, more than it ever has before. Let's try toggling off James DSP. Toggling James DSP. That sounds really, really great. Let's just test low volumes, as they said they improved that. It also sounds fantastic at low volume. I'm now going to put my microphone up to both speakers and see if there's any difference. I'm now going to put the speakers up to my ear and tell you if I hear any difference. I don't hear any difference, and it sounds excellent. This sounds by far the best I've heard it sound. So they have done some improvements here, and it seems like you are still going to want this James DSP app set up like we did before. So if you do have it set up differently to me, check out my previous 2 videos on this, which should help you out as well. Let's just try one more test, the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 intro music. I'll head into the James DSP app now, and we'll toggle it on and off. Let's also turn off the EQ. Oh, it actually sounds very good without the EQ. I think it actually sounds better without the EQ. It's very loud without the EQ. With the app turned off, it sounds tinny and not very good. With the app turned on, it's much louder and sounds okay. Then the EQ muffles the sound a bit, but in quite a pleasant way. So it's something you could still play around with if you want to, but I think right out of the box, this sounds pretty good. Let's just turn off the EQ and head back into Tennis in the Face. It sounds quite muffled. It's very loud. Very, very, very loud. But let's turn that EQ back on because I think it sounds a lot better with the EQ on. Let's jump back in. Yeah, I think we could still improve that EQ a little bit more. It's not perfect, it's still a little bit muffled sounding, but it sounds pretty good. That is a pretty good sound. I don't think anybody's going to really complain about that. The original sound of the Retroid Pocket 5 was pretty bad, and a lot of people were quite justified to not really be happy with that, but I don't think many people will complain about how this sounds now. It's loud, it's powerful. This is a good sound. So I do recommend installing this update. If you don't like how it sounds, you definitely still can fiddle around with these settings in the James DSP app. If you want to copy my settings, check out my previous videos on it because I haven't changed them since then. And I'm sure by fiddling around with this, you can get something you would be happy with. So I do hope you get a great sound you like just from the firmware update and you don't need to tinker with anything else. But if you do want to tinker around with it, you definitely can. So I hope this video was helpful and useful to you. I would encourage you to get the update yourself, see how you think about the sound. If you don't really like the sound that much, check if your EQ graph looks like mine. If it doesn't, check out my previous video, which will help you match it to mine. And let me know what you think about this. If you have any tips or questions, leave me a comment. I will get back to you to thank you for the tips or help you out in any way that I can. I just hope we can all have the best experiences with our gaming handhelds. So thank you once again for watching. Please like and subscribe if you didn't already for far more content on all of these handhelds, and I'll see you again soon.